Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody? We got ourselves the big ESL Weekly EU Finals, and both of these players have slogged through a bracket of absolute killers. CLEM in the top left side of the map, playing Terran on Equilibrium. The map which he didn't want to play, but his opponent was the highest seed, and he therefore got the first pick of map. The top right, we've got REYNOR for Basilisk. Yeah, Team Liquid's CLEM wasn't too happy about that. Now he sends an SCV forward. What's that for? What? Oh, I think that's a mistake. He was going to scout. Now he's changed his mind. Bit of an odd mistake to make there. CLEM very indecisive. Unless there's a proxy hatch he was hoping to catch or some sort of weird cheese build that he was worried about, but I find that very unlikely. Now, yeah, the way it works in the finals, I believe, is you get to pick a map, then they pick a map, and then you get to veto a map, and then they veto a map. I think that's how it works. Pick, veto, pick, veto. I'm not sure. It would be crazy if number one seed got to pick and veto before the other guy even gets to pick a map. That would be a ridiculous advantage. I don't think they would do that. Otherwise, seeding matters a lot. CLEM would probably be pretty tilted since over the last months, he's won a lot more of these weekly cups than REYNOR, but maybe it's based off of performance at other big tournaments and overall circuit points for the seeding, perhaps. Anyways, Command Center on the Natural Factory comes up there, and we are going to be seeing a reactor as he hits 50 gas. First Reaper going to arrive now. Ling Speed's on the way very early, so REYNOR is playing super safe against multiple Reapers, early Hellion run-bys, but also the potential to do Ling run-bys and be aggressive himself. Something which he's caught CLEM off guard with multiple times in the last 2 weeks. Remember, REYNOR does have a 51%, 52 wins, 50 losses win record against CLEM. It's a pretty good win record, but recently CLEM's been winning more than losing. And that's, he's been inching it from like, I think he was at like 46%. Now he's at 49% is CLEM. You know, he's winning more matches than he's losing lately. He barely won a very close one last week. The week before that, REYNOR took him out 3-1, I think it was. Well, actually, it might have even been a 3-0. It was very dominant. But there were a few times where CLEM was just monster moding him over that before then as well. So it all balances out. Third command center into Starport and second gas. Looks like a Hellion Banshee build to me. Queen does get bounced, and he gets himself a Zergling kill. Going in deep there is very dangerous, though. Let's get a few more hits on the Zerglings, but no actual kills. Up to 3 queens now is REYNOR. We should be seeing those injects going down. Fourth queen starts to queue up there, though he's waiting for the overlords to pop before it actually begins production. Notice he's put back on gas. He's going to rally a third one in there, and his natural's full. So already 2 bases full. He'll rally to the third, try to get this up, and we will see another queen starting here right then. Reaper distracting him in the main. Hellions come in and try to kill the lava, but REYNOR quickly builds drones. The difference is they both have a lot of armor, but eggs have 200 hit points, whereas lava only have, I think it's 25, I want to say. We can try to click on one to check, but it's about 25. So they can actually get taken out, especially because I think they have a little bit less armor. Or maybe it's just because they're light units. They take a lot of bonus damage from Hellions, for instance. Injects non-stop, queen building non-stop. We're going up to at least 8 queens in this game. And we should be expecting a lair and a Bailey nest in the near future. I think he'll go lair on the natural, because that queen in the main's not going to pop for a while. So if he goes lair in the main, it's not going to be ready for the cloak. Then again, where are the banshees? First banshee's only just popped out. That banshee's late. Yeah, I feel like that banshee could have been out a little bit earlier. Normally you start it a fair bit before cloak starts, but it's going to head over there. It'll get there about 5:20 anyway, so not too bad. Lair starts in the main as that queen pops. We just go for the slightly later lair, focusing just on droning very hard, and nothing wrong with that. REYNOR is the king of these early game openings. I've always said that banshees are worth very little against REYNOR because he's just so on point. Now that's an anti-liberator spore. The banshee could cloak and move around the inside and force that spore to reposition. Good micro for CLEM. He's going to go around the top side, and he does cloak. Spore Crawler provides detection, allowing a few hits to go down. Hellion Reaper trying to fight a queen, but a Hellion falls. Oh, this is what I was talking about. He's got to move that spore, run those drones away. A little slow to do it, so he loses 3 workers and mining time. Queen does go down, but it looks like another Hellion falls. 3 Hellions for a queen. I think REYNOR's okay with that trade. He's already on 10 queens, so he's got queens to spare. Losing those queens, I mean, their job is to defend your economy in the early stages. If they do that, they're doing exactly what they meant to. Nice spore trick. Lovely reaction speed. from REYNOR. 1-1's on the way, as well as going up to 5 barracks. Reactors started building on the medevac, which means we'll see medevacs about 7 minutes. It's always a bit delayed when you go for the Banshees first. You don't get them very early. All the transfusers get used up, but seeing that the Banshee was about to get out of energy, he runs forward. Aliens in the south, plenty of Lings to block that. Clem, though, does not go too deep. Gold base coming up is going to be a big one. Double Evo and Bailey Nest are very late, though, for REYNOR. So even though REYNOR's got a good economy, he's going to be working with garbage tier units for a while, and that's a huge problem. Right? He's going to 80 drones. This is way too greedy. If REYNOR gets away with this, he will dominate from the 10-minute mark onwards. But right now, he's going for Mutiling Bane, but he's got no Bane speed until like 8.5 minutes. He's not going to have Mutalisks or 1-1. 1-1's going to finish at 9 minutes. I mean, come on, this is a huge delay. These first medevacs and mines, if they start parade pushing, REYNOR is in big trouble. That being said, his income is crazy. He's got the gold base with the purple gas mining. He's up in minerals and gas, despite there being many mules mining at this exact moment. So that tells you he is in a very good position. Medevacs will allow him to get rid of the Overlord on the pillar. That guy goes down. About 7:30 is when the pressure's really going to start. Baneling speed has begun upgrading. 1 minute until it finishes. That minute is the scary point. Not to mention the 1-1 just started for him. It's about to finish, as is Combat Shields for our Terran player. Combat Shields is only 20 seconds away. Sorry, about 25 seconds from right now. +2 attack already starting for Clem. Widowmine's getting in position. Baneling's not willing to sacrifice themselves to that. I like that the drones are pulling off. Queens are coming forward, combined with the Ling Bane. The Queens with their transfusers could do well. Nice transfusers, keeps the Overseer up. Ooh, good defense so far for REYNOR. Clem with some nice positioning, but oh, great flank for REYNOR. Dislodges him, buys himself time. Baneling speed's almost done. 1-1 inching closer and closer. And that was pretty close to even trading, which is amazing for the Zerg. More biomine in the north. Clem needs more damage. Remember, Clem's way behind in terms of economy. 4th Command Center is coming in. It's the upgrades in the tech right now, giving them the advantage. That's what he needs to use. All the Queens and the Lings and Banes are in the south. Just a few Lings and a Spore in the north. REYNOR needs to send more units north. Probably needs to make some Banelings there as well, so he can defend both sides at once. 9 Mutalisks on the way. He's putting 13 drones. Unnecessary greed for REYNOR right now at a risky point in the game. He has more than enough economy, but REYNOR is not just looking to basically defend and be in a really good spot. REYNOR's looking to literally have the game over in the next 2 minutes off the back of his insane greed. Mutiling Bane on the south side coming forward. I say insane greed, but if it works, it's not insane, it's perfectly judged greed. Remember, that's always the litmus test in StarCraft, as in warfare, is does it work? You can do a very risky, dangerous decision, and yeah, it was crazy, it was a gamble. If the gamble pays off, it paid off. It was the right decision. That is always it. The results are what matters in StarCraft, but oh god, the Banelings actually get a big hit on the Marines despite getting cornered. Mutas are going down though in the natural. Ling Bane does defend. The Spore Crawler perfectly placed to defend that redrop. Mutalisks have all gone down though. He's lost 6 mutas. He's only got a few left. The drop barely survives in the main base. Does get out of there. The Banshee is finally going to fall. The Overseers are dying, but he's got more where that came from. Widowmine doing friendly fire. If he can take out these Widowmines, defend both sides. REYNOR has 95 workers. His greed is out of this world. He does leave the Widowmines there because he's going after, of course, the Medivacs. But he's going to have to fall back from that one. Oh, bad fight for REYNOR, I think. Widowmines and Marines getting some good shots off. Top side, looks like it's only Widowmines left up there, denying a 6th base being taken. REYNOR still chasing him to his side of the map, which is kind of cute. If he pulls back and cleans up those Widowmines, it'd be all right. But right now, those Widowmines are recharging and they are firing on him. So he's got to be careful. It's going to take a bit of APM and attention to get rid of that. More Marines in the north going to deny that 6th base. REYNOR being so greedy has really handed control to Clem of this match. REYNOR is happy to play on the back foot and use his insane mechanics and micro to try to survive. Those 2 Widowmines are still there. The Marines are basically just trying to bait them in, and they do just that. That Widowmine now up to 19 kills. The other one, it's Buddy on 8 kills. It's a bummer that REYNOR did not clear those up, because now that allows him to begin pushing from this location with the previous Widowmines. 11 mines building at a time. 3 more tech labs are here. Concussive shells coming in. +3 attack and +2 armor on the way. So it is right now 2-1 versus 1-1. Big upgrade advantage for Clem does continue. Clem's 4th base is up on the gold, fully saturated. 5th base building behind it. But he doesn't have extra orbitals, he doesn't have ghosts, and he's only on 2 factories, no extra starports. Marines trying to start a step back. Looks like most of these mines got cleaned up. Nice job with the cleaning for REYNOR. That Widowmine only hits a few Zerglings. REYNOR's okay with that. Mutalisks in the north. Gonna take out the Watchtower. Not a bad fight. Does get 1 Muta. Does Clem, but he loses a Medevac and 5 Marines. Good trade for REYNOR. Reynor's dead even in supply. Down 20 army supply. Big Widow Mine gets the Banelings, just barely staying too long in Widow Mine range. Mutalisks in the north unable to take out the turret and the Marines. Reynor is still on the back foot. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it, guys. If he did not build to 95 workers, I think he would have taken better fights, had more units for run-bys, and maybe been in a better position. He might disagree. A lot of people might disagree. But I really feel like he's putting himself in a position where it's going to be so hard to play a proper game unless you catch the drops. Ooh, but they unload in the Reddit point bio. The Widow Mine's recharging. The unit's lost time is 6,000 resources in favor of Clem. I don't think the extra 15 workers makes up for how inefficient he's been because his army is so much smaller. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. If you've got a gold-based mining with a purple gas and you feel the need to go to 95 workers, I think you're pushing a greed just a little too far. Reynor's played an excellent game, but Clem is now establishing mass command center. Reynor is completely on the defensive, whereas he plays his best StarCraft when he's attacking and counterattacking and not just sitting purely defensive. And I think Clem now is getting trades that are just too good. Reynor cannot hang on. He just doesn't have the numbers. He gets a few Banelings on top. He needs a big Baneling. Ooh, but look at that. Clem runs forward, focus fires the Banelings, and does massive damage, getting these cocoons, getting these mutas. And he's just not even letting the cocoons finish morphing for the most part. A few Banelings gonna connect. He does actually get some big hits. There's plenty of Widow Mines to fall back on. The Widow Mines with the burrow, unburrow is a lovely move. Army in the north is going to deny the 6th base. The trading is just out of this world. 10,000 resources more efficient. If you are ever caught with less army than Clem, it's a disaster because that sets him up to micro to insane value. And this is what Cyril has shown me over the years. Whenever he beats Clem, it is with overwhelming numbers. He says, I have so much army, you cannot get an efficient fight for the life of you, because if I let you get an efficient fight, you're Clem, you're going to micro your heart out and make that way too efficient. Reynor does route on the south side. He hangs on like a bloody champion right now on the south. But losing that base and those 10 drones in the north puts him back on 82 workers. He needs to get rid of the medevacs. He does focus down the ghosts. The medevacs going down could be huge. He gets one, he gets two. Oh, he's getting a few of them. But in his natural, he's getting pushed in. Queens are going down. His rally's in trouble. He gets 2 of the 4 medevacs. A few of the Marines do survive. The drones are in trouble as well. Queens are in trouble. Can't quite get the transfuse down. The Lings are getting butchered by the 3-2 Marines against the 2-2 Zerglings. And this is Clem in his element. The Marines are taking so many of them down for every single Marine that falls. And that is an 11,000 resource loss difference. He's parading down the south. Remember, behind this, there are now 4 orbitals up. He's got more and more commands on his fusion core. 2nd starport is up as well. This is an insane advantage for Clem. Beautiful game. Honestly, I loved Reynor's opening. I think he did a lot of things really right. And I think it's crazy to show just how good Clem is. That one small mistake, building a few more drones than you needed. You give Clem that momentum, and Clem looks like an unstoppable monster from the deep. He is a leviathan of Terran vs. Zerg. This man will impregnate you purely off the back of his insane control. The Widow Mine line is too deep. The Bio Ghost is too deep. Snipes on the Overseer is looking fantastic. 5th base is in jeopardy. You lose the 5th, you lose the game. Clem knows this. Reynor knows this. Widow Mine hits a lot of the Ling Bane. It's got more mines behind it, more Marines behind it. Not a lot to support those. Reynor would like to chase him down, but Clem is so good at pulling back. Those Banelings do get 2 Widow Mines and a few Marines. That was worth it for 3 Banelings. North side, still a Widow Mine up there. Reynor's Spore Crawler just barely out of range, unfortunately. Hopefully he does not send a big transfer of drones, because that will put him in trouble. Scan goes up in the north. Not sure what that's for. Maybe just checking for a hive. We've got 17 mutas out, 3 more building. Reynor trying to get back in this with a Mutaling Bane. Down on 83 workers. His 6th base is almost up. Mutas coming in from the left. Ling Bane from the right. The Banelings! Oh my god, they were in the front line. Big mistake for Reynor there. Banelings on the front line meant Clem didn't even need to focus fight. He just stimmed, A-moved, and all the Banelings died before the mutas and the Zerglings got on top. And a few more Banes come forward, but look at the spread. Widow Mine even lands in the middle of the mutas, really peppering them down. They do have rapid regen Mutalisks, but not enough for this. The Bio pulling back, they're so overstimmed, but the Widow Mine Bio, it's a meat grinder. 13,000 resource lost efficiency. Focusing down all the Banelings under the mutas. How do you even click on those Banelings when they're underneath mutas? Riddle me that, you psychopath. Oh, even more Banelings going down to these Widow Mines. I don't know how Clem does this. He's got a giant army that can come to the front and join him now as well. Reynor's like, haha, I've defended. I control the 5th base. It somehow survived. And I have a 6th up. Like, that's awesome. Widow Mine just killed 4 drones, though. It's going to move out of Spore range and immediately reburrow, which is very annoying, which means it could kill even more in the future. Ghosts do get picked off by the mutas. That's nice. But there's a 6th base on the way for Clem, and he's still going for more orbitals. So we've got 2 more command centers building, 6 liberators, +1 ship weapons, +3 carapace only now starting for REYNOR. Mine drop comes in on the north. He's going to try and drop right on top. And, oh, decent boom booms taking out a lot of those Zerglings. 21 mutas are up there of +2 for their upgrades, but against 3-3 bio with +2 vehicle plating on the medevacs and Thors and liberators and everything. That's going to be big. We haven't really seen any Thors yet. I think he just says, you know what, Widow Mines and bio are where it's at. Thors have long range, but their splash damage is nothing compared to Widow Mine splash damage. Bio shoving the south. Mutas are out of position. They're going to try to counterattack, which makes things very hard for REYNOR. He's diving into the sensor tower range. There are liberators nearby. Is he going to fight them? Oh, the libs are going to fight the mutas. He's got like 8 liberators. They actually beat Mutalisks because there's so much splash damage when you have 8 libs in anti-air form. Oh my gosh. Clem recognizing he could actually use those to defend the mutas as well. That is very cool. Super cool, man. The libs are hunting. He's like, oi, come and play, come and play, come and play with us, mate. And REYNOR knows he can't keep up. A fantastic game 1, but Clem once again steals the Zerg map. He has been doing so good on Equilibrium lately. GG, well played. All right, guys. We've got Clem down here in the bottom right side. A great game 1 for the Frenchman. Once he gets going with that micro and he has like there's like a certain critical point where he has too much of an army supply advantage and you're just fighting with less stuff and you don't have enough units to flank him or interrupt his rally or anything. And suddenly you're never distracting him with Baneling run-bys. He just gets out of hand. So Team Liquid's Clem, a great game 1. Now it's on a hard map for Zerg. And Basilisk REYNOR better pull out all the stops. He's been struggling on ladder on his stream as well against Clem. People were saying in the chat, so we know that Clem is a hard match for him. Despite that, the people who bet channel points who are watching live right now went about 50-50 on this match. And that was kind of cool to see. What I noticed, though, is about twice as many people bet on Clem, but they were the more conservative people, betting smaller amounts. The REYNOR gamblers, it was half the players, but the same amount of total points, which means they are the big bettors. They are the gamblers. The Roddy and REYNOR fans, you know, they're the risk takers. All right, so the extractor trick goes down here. SCV blocking the third is always very annoying on this map. Notice the drone is trying to get some damage on the SCV, but that means he's going to lose it. Yeah, that means the drone goes down. Because once the Reaper's standing next to the extractor, you can't build an extractor when there's a unit right next to it. You need to push the Reaper away. So we use the SCV to block the top gas, the Reaper to block the southern gas, and now REYNOR loses a drone. Finds himself on the back foot. Now, the problem with this base is you really don't want to take that front third. On other maps, the other third base is pretty much just as good. But on this map, third is so much better because the other third is just so exposed and hard to defend from Hellions. Does manage to get it down. I think Clem will probably be kicking himself that he didn't deny that. He would normally expect himself to be good enough at the micro to block that from going down for a few more seconds, bounce the queen away, and maybe even snipe that drone. He had plenty of hit points to do it. Zerglings thinking about going in, but I think he's going to wait for Ling Speed and the first Hellions to leave, and then he'll go in about maybe 15-20 seconds from now. Check. 19 seconds till Ling Speed. Ling Speed's a little late. Maybe wait for 4 Hellions to be on the front. If he goes in now, he's not really going to get much done, I don't think, because these Hellions will be out pretty soon. Reaper Hellion tickling the base. I mean, Rain is droning behind it. It's only 4 Zerglings. It's not a massive commitment. And he does go after the Marine. Leaves 1 Zergling to finish off the Marine. The rest go after the SCVs. And a Marine and an SCV would be great. Gets himself 1 SCV. Can he get 2? And the answer is... oh, not quite. Hellion Reaper in the north. Slowing down the creep spread a little. 1 creep on that side. A few creep tumors there. Great ring of Overlord vision. Notice he's filling in the hole in the top up there. Probably get some Overlords down here as well to watch for Banshees. And it is indeed Banshees again, which I think he knows because he's seen everything. 3rd command center finished, starport there. So that was very much worth it, those 4 Zerglings. And I think moves like that are usually the beginnings of success against Clem. It's basically picking when to fight. Oh god, oh god. That bounce was really deadly. That queen's going to go down. That hurts, man. Losing a queen this early sucks because that's normally they build up transfuse energy over time. And so losing 1 early queen can sometimes be a slippery slope where then you don't quite have the transfuse. You lose another queen. You don't quite have the queen. Then your queens have to pull together, which means you can't cover both lanes at once. Or if you stay on both lanes like REYNOR is, these Hellions could fight those 2 queens in the north and beat them. He's not going for it, though. He doesn't want to risk wasting too many hit points in case REYNOR is quick enough to move the reinforcing queens down. And REYNOR actually initiates, gets a few hits on him, which is really nice. Lairs on the way. 3 Spore Crawlers building. First Banshee moving down the left side of the map. Third Command Center floating down. We've got a 4th gas coming in. So 2nd and 3rd barracks, up to 4 gases. And then he goes for the double engineering bay. 4th and 5th barracks will go down after that. And what you want to keep your eyes on as well, a nice benchmark for Terran, is how quick after the Hellion Banshee phase do they actually get in there with their medevacs and stim marines. Because the earlier that pressure happens, the less room there is in between the Zerg defending this pressure and being ready for the next one. The bigger that gap is, the more creep there is on the map and the more control the Zerg gets over their 4th and 5th base locations. Tank building. Clem's going to be playing siege tanks today. It's a pretty good tank push map. You can put tanks up here. You can put tanks on the south side as well. Tanks in the middle have some nice spots behind these rocks. Alien Banshee joining up. 3 queens, no match for this. But the transfuse is enough to keep them alive. And with the extra queens and Zerglings coming in, it's a good hold. Still only has lost 1 queen. He's killed a Hellion. The Banshees are both wounded and out of energy. The drone count is untouched. It's just past 6 minutes. Rain is already going up to 6 gases. The fact that he's going 6 gases, to me, makes me wonder if he wants to just play Mutalisks. You know, I actually don't mind it. Even though this map kind of sucks for it, I actually don't mind it. Number 1, he's up against tanks. Mutas are good versus tanks. And number... What the... No, what? That's got to be a misclick, right? There's no reason for him to go range. He doesn't have a Roach Horn or a Hydra Den, guys. There we go. He notices. Whew. Cancels +1 range. Starts melee. You are a Reynor fan. You should heave a sigh of relief right now. A few more Spore Crawlers going down. So it's going to be a total of 4 Spores, 1 for each base, because he knows those Banshees could come back in later. Ooh, the Overlord may have seen the tank. He tried to hide it, though. I mean, there's literally a changeling here in the army that Clem hasn't noticed. 2 tank Marine push. It's a very stiff timing, guys. Baneling speed is almost ready, though. And I mean, where do you really siege these tanks? I'm assuming up here on this edge. Oh, I like the Lings already moving to cut off the reinforce. That's huge. Cutting off the reinforce and potentially flanking the army is massive. Oh, gosh. The tank positioning is nice, but I really think Rain is ready for this. He's on 67 workers. He's ready. Oh, but he lets the Marines reinforce on that right side. Oh, Reynor was not ready to close it yet. Okay, he's going for it now. But look, the Banelings are in the wrong position. The Banelings are nowhere near the Hellbats. He needs the Banelings on the Hellbats. The Lings are trying to avoid getting on top of the tank until the Hellbats are gone. That siege tank and those Hellbats taking a lot of units to take out. He finally gets rid of it. But oh god, the Queens have come too far out. Wait, no, the Marines are weak enough. I think he can just fight. Queen goes down. The Marines take some big damage. And the 1-1 Marines do get forced to back off. Oh, fighting the Zerglings on their own, but they're still so weak, these Marines, that if the Lings down top, they could kill them as they unload. Clem, so antsy on the unload micro there. Queen's respreading creep. He's only now droned behind this, has Reynor. I think this is a very smart way to play against Clem. And honestly, potentially staying 80 workers for the rest of this game and just looking for the correct engagements. I think you have to have an aggressive mindset against Clem. The moment you accept yourself as the defender for the whole game, he becomes a massive creature, a beast that is hard to beat. That being said, Widowmine and 2 Banshees already on defense duty, and his rally going past the 4th base. How do you counterattack against this? It's not easy. There's no easy answers when you're playing like Clem. I can be like, hey, defending only almost never works against him. And then I look at it, I'm like, counterattacking right now is not a good idea. Both of these statements can be true. And they lead us to the possible conclusion that Clem is overpowered, especially on a small map like this, where his pushes get across here so fast. Had to cancel a Baneling Morph out front. Does take out the Widowmine before it can fire. Hydra Queen trying to hold the line on the left side. Hydralink Bane on the left side is super heavy on the D. So he's going to bring some of those units north. You can see he's sending some Banelings to the north. Marine Medevac trying to push in. Does get an Overseer. I like that he focuses Overseers a lot. A Medevac does get ripped to shreds there, but didn't have anything inside. Oh, Widowmine gets a few Zerglings. Nothing too scary though. With a Hive on the way, 2-2, 85 workers. I think Reynor's hanging on very nicely. Clem has a 4th base finished, up with a planetary and mining. 78 workers, his 5th base coming in. And he's got a small advantage on the 2-2 upgrades. Nothing like the last game. We've also got the Lurker Den coming in, and we know that Lurkers are a big weak point for Clem if you're not too far behind. And even if you are a little behind, we've seen like Dark and stuff sometimes come back with Lurkers against him. He runs out of scans. Like he's stopped dropping mules at this point, but he's still using so many scans to keep the creep back But when the Lurker Morph comes, he's sometimes not prepared. Hydra Bane pulls south. Spreadies on the Lings and the Banes. Nice. Cleans that up pretty well. Overseers come forward. He does have speed on those Overseers. Marine Medevac pulling to the right side. Units lost tab is 2,500 in favor of Clem. Closing on 3,000. 2-2 has now finished. It's 2-2 versus 1-1 for this narrowed next 20-30 second window. But Reynor's actually done such a good job defending that it's not taking advantage of. Lurker upgrades have started. Vipers have started. And it's actually Reynor who's chasing Clem away. Like Clem here, yeah, he's got the upgrade advantage. He'll pick off a few units. Not that many, though. Oh, the Widow Mine does take out an Overseer, but it friendly fires a lot of those Marines as well. Okay, Clem's micro is just out of this world, though. He's focusing those Banelings for screen after screen. You think he's just going to stop and look elsewhere and start running at some point, but Clem is a multitasking monster. Biomine focusing things down. I apologize for the lag, guys. It's the EU server, and it's just playing up a little bit today. The Marines do pick up, but a lot of them go down. Gotta say, units lost tab. Only 3,000 resource difference. Reynor's solid on 5 base. Problem is, on this map, it's very hard to secure a 6th base. This one in the north and this one in the south are both way out there. It's stuttering like crazy, isn't it? This is insane. European servers being a bit twitchy today. I apologize for that, guys. Does happen sometimes when I'm casting a series live where we basically have it start to go do 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 do, and you go, come on, server. And Blizzard's like, servers? Sorry, mates. We downsized. We decided to hire a guy to build a server in his bedroom. We don't use those good servers no more. No. Hatcher on the left side of the map. Oh, a medevac does get sniped. Hydraling Bane to the left. Lurkers are going for a bit of a counterattack. Good spready. Oh, this 3 Lurker counterattack could be big, though. Oh, the Widow Mine. Big Widow Mine hit. That Widow Mine hit does get split against nicely. Lurkers pushing in. They're not in range of the SCVs, though. He should put one in range of the SCVs. Oh, big parasitic bomb. Kills a bunch of the medevacs. 2 medevacs go down. The rest get heavily damaged. Lurkers not quite in range of the workers until now. He does lose 3 Lurkers. One of them escapes. No, 2 of them escape. Okay. Nice job forcing a lot of scans. So notice how he's already forced 2 scans. And he's killed the reactor there. It's going to burn down in a second. You can see, there we go. Reactor does finish burning down. Clem not repairing that. He's too busy with the micro. And this is kind of crazy right now. Ling Bane, Hydra coming forward. Hydra, oh, the Bane's got focused. But the Baneling's now coming in the second round. And he leaves a bunch of the bio, goes behind. Clem taking some heavy losses on the southern side, though. He can fall back to the planetary as a fallback point. Extra command centers are coming in. He's already at 4 orbitals, and he should be at more in the near future. Another Lurker runs in for a bit of harassment, and always a good move, that one. Turret does not have detection that fast, so he has to use another scan. Even though the Lurker doesn't do much, because that one just came in while nothing else was happening, so Clem got to put his full attention on it. It's a good attempt by Reynor, keeps Clem on the back foot, and potentially opens up the opportunity for him to be low on scans later. Fusion core and 3 more command centers building. No extra orbitals on the way just yet, but he should be making them soon. Oh, EMP on the Viper. One of the Vipers is out of energy. The other one has good energy. I think he's just going to go for the parasitic bomb. Indeed, he does. The Baneling's trying to roll forwards. Is this a good enough fight? Not enough to kill the base. I think it's not a terrible trade for Reynor. He's down about 5,500 resources in the units lost. Problem is that Clem is mining the same base count. And these bases, just their locations, are so exposed. Burrows done. Infestors are building. We will see burrowed Infestors joining in. Vipers to kill medevacs. And, of course, burrowed Infestors to try to catch the bio. He's doing that pretty well. Lurker harass in the north as well, but they're on hold fire. They're on hold fire. That's a problem. He is not meaning to use those on hold fire right now. Oh, gosh, that's a problem. Lingbane Hydra does get a good engage in the south, though, catching a bunch of Clem stuff. Clem supply is dropping right now. It's just a shame that he left these Lurkers on hold fire. Those who don't know, you can tell them to hold fire so that if your opponent doesn't have detection, they walk right on top and then you activate them and they do massive damage. But it takes a lot of attention and it's a very specific situation you want to use that in. Now, Adrenal Glands did not get made this game. That's a big upgrade to be missing. Reynor's maxed. He's got money. He's fighting very well. And I love that he's sitting on 85 drones this game compared to game 1 where we saw what happened when he went too high on workers. Infestor gets scanned, taken down. There is another Infestor out here. I just don't know exactly where it is. We'll find it when the action settles down. It's up north, and it's in a defensive stance. We've got 14 Hydras. They've got 1-3 upgrades. Plus 2's almost finished for them, though. Lingbane Hydra trying to roll forward. Widowmine's going to get some big boom booms. I don't know about Reynor coming down this ramp. He's trying to create space for himself so he can transfer drones to the 6th base. but he just doesn't feel confident doing it just yet. More Lurkers are going to run in for the counterattack there. The Lingbane Hydra tries to roll forward, does drag some Widow Mines towards the Terran army, and then pulls back. Lurkers once again on top. He takes out the turret. The Bio does come over there, but that's not enough Bio to take this out. The Lingbane Hydra wants to smash this left side base at the same time. A couple of those depots do go down. He's starting to pick off a few of these workers. He's going to try to move south. Nice snipes. Good snipe sandwich comes in from both sides. And you know what? Reynor, he did not pounce with these units to take advantage. A couple burrowed banelings there on that bottom side, but they get scanned. Infestor on the right side is ready to catch these units. Remember, one fungal will not catch them. He's almost got enough energy for the second fungal, but usually Clem's very quick at EMPing, so you don't get the second fungal off. It's only 4 seconds of disabling time, and basically you need to kill with banelings before that 4 seconds is up, because once the 4 seconds is up, the medevacs can pick up and leave. But during the fungal, you cannot pick the units up. Oh god, with that infestor, he's got to be so careful, mate. Don't follow the army, Reynor! Reynor! Oh, he does pop up. Fungal parasitic bomb! Oh, that's big! That's big! The medevacs are getting blasted, but the Bio pulls behind the mineral line pretty effectively. Is it enough to keep it all alive? 2 medevacs save a few of the ghosts. A bunch of SCVs and Bio do go down. Liberators coming in to try to save the day. The Hydras do take out one of those Liberators, but I think they should pull back now, as I think this push is probably over. Oh, he's continuing. Reynor's horny right now. He wants to get in there. He wants to rip this Terran apart. I think maybe chasing a bit further than he needed to, though. A lot more Hydras did go down there. That cost him a lot of money. That being said, he's got a 6th base mining. He's keeping Clem off the 6th. He could potentially win despite the inefficient trading while doing that. Just remember, even without a 6th, Clem's got great mining on his 4th and 5th for many more minutes. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And the Infestors are only now being replaced. I think he needs to keep maybe 4 Infestors on station. If he keeps 4 Infestors on station, 2 in reserve, 2 up front, when the 2 on front die, he can immediately bring them forward. They've already got a lot of energy, and they get in position very quickly. Hydra stumbles in. Those Libs are going to be a nuisance. Normally, Hydras fall off pretty hard against Libs at this point, so you want to out-position them. Rather than engaging here, he wants to swing in towards the 3rd base with his army and force those Libs to engage into his army. Oh my god, he's going to push through the Libs. A few of them were unsieged. Is this going to work? Hydras don't do that well versus Libs, but I think he just has enough numbers to bust through. He does break through the Liberator count, only behind 6,000 resources. Oh my god, 16 Banelings just died on the left to a Widow Mine. Ghosts are also sniping. Widow Mine's landing big hits. Oh, Reynor's overextending really bad in that last section of that fight. He lost an extra 2,000 resources for very little. He got like a Ghost and a medevac. It's now dead even in supply. 1 extra base mining is not enough for Zerg unless they keep taking good fights. 1 bad fight, and as we see, the Banelings and the Lurkers get sniped. The Marine Ghost guns them down. Clem is large and in charge, and it looks like he has now broken Reynor, because that base is within spitting distance. He knows about it as well. If he gets to it, Reynor's dead, and even without him getting to it, he's already got a 30 army supply advantage. There's not much Reynor can do at this stage. He doesn't have Banelings. He's got 2 Infestors, 2 Vipers, and very little else. Oh, Widow Mine! Okay, good spready there. Does try to engage that, but oh my gosh. Clem being such a nuisance to play against. These Marines do at least get surrounded. The drones, he's trying to save the drones, but they are getting focused down. Clem realizing he doesn't care if he loses these Marines. They've already done the damage. And I say he doesn't care. He's going to save them anyway, because he's a very good StarCraft player who does not let units go to death for free. Up to 7 orbitals behind it. The Iron Bank has been completed building. And of course, that base on the south is up as well. So that medevac drop gets cleaned up by Reynor. Reynor has a new base on the north, but only 65 workers. And even that base getting denied by a Liberator. Very frustrating to deal with. The Liberator will immediately re-siege as advanced ballistics has been made. Plus 3 armor is ready for those Libs as well. Infested does pop up behind. He does fungal these units twice. But remember, the damage doesn't stack. All the second fungal does is prolong the duration by a fraction of a second. And without the supporting units, Clem is going to bust through. Clem looks exceptional there. Reynor played a really good game, but Oceanborn is Clem's first map pick for a reason. It's a good map for Terran. And despite Reynor making it very close, Clem is up 2-0. Well, he's on a roll right now, isn't he? Going on to Golden Aura, a big boy map where Mutalisks are quite good. Liquid Clem in the top left, Basilisk, Reynor in the bottom right. We'll see. Does he think Mutas are going to get him out of this sticky spot? Oh, it's easier said than done. It's so hard. And this map does still have some really good push bars. Like if you take this 4th on the left, tank positionings up here are brutal. So I think I don't really care which 3rd you go for, but as long as you go for 3rd and 4th on these 2 bases, in whichever order, I think it's quite good. Thanks for the subs, guys. Really appreciate it. Now, someone was asking, REYNOR used to go over 100 drones all the time. Yeah, he used to go 110. Why doesn't he do that anymore? So the reason is we saw in game 1, he went to 95 and Clem killed him because he never had a big enough army. So REYNOR got away with that because number one, he was so much better than the opposition that he got ahead enough that he could afford to do it without them just having too much army and killing him. And number two, yeah, he was basically getting to a late enough position in the game with enough creep control where they couldn't punish him, and then he could just throw units in. Lurkers from all sides, banelings from all sides, constant counterattacks. Didn't have to worry about losing around a banelings here or there or taking a bad Widowmine splash. And he's got lurkers and links arounds and banelings and all this crazy stuff coming in. So I think that's something which worked for a while. But the top tier Terran opposition, the Clems and the Marus of this world will punish you if you do that these days. So he can't do it. He can't get away with it. Maybe the maps were a bit bigger back then as well. I'm not 100% sure. I'd need to go back. I remember it was around like the Everdream map pool. He did that quite a lot, I believe, around that map pool. I want to say that's about 2020. Reaper coming in. Queens are going to push that back. Third command center on the high ground. We've only got one gas, guys. Only one gas. Starport does go down. Oh, actually, no, second barracks. That's why it's only one gas. It's a 2-1-1. Classic build order and a very good one. For those who don't know, REYNOR will be going to Korea in the near future to compete in GSL Season 2. Practice over there. I think he just feels like he needs to go focus on the game a little bit more and practice in Korea on the Korean ladder and hopefully get some Korean practice partners with some, different players. Oh, drone. Should have rallied that maybe to the right and built a Spore Crawler. Does lose it. Good micro by Clem, being a nuisance. Now notice there's no ling speed, guys. It is just 4 queens into a 5th and 6th queen into very quick roaches. So we would expect REYNOR to push out probably about 6 roaches. Maybe try to pretend he's actually attacking across the map. But right now, this is scary. The roaches have just started. Oh, this could be game ending. He's got to be very clutch on his drone micro right now. Oh, he's got to pull a few drones. That Evo's not going to fully block it, is it? Oh, he blocked him, actually. Only the Reaper could get through. And good D. He only loses 5 drones. That could have been a lot worse. That being said, you've built 5 roaches and 6 queens. That's already a big investment in defense. Losing 5 drones severely weakens your opening. Not only that, Clem knows what he's up against. Now, Clem's not even building a bunker. Guys, there's Greed and then there's Clem. He's basically saying, yeah, even if you do go for a Roach Ravager pressure, I'm going to have Stim and enough Marines soon enough that I can just pull some SCVs if I have to. And if you don't counter commit and you just drone up, then awesome. I haven't wasted money on a bunker. This is that fine razor's edge that pro gamers play on, where they never overreact to stuff. This map kind of bugs out, and when the depot lowers, the map shows up above it, which always looks funny. He gets an SCVM. This is for REYNOR, he hasn't committed anything else. He's just droning. Getting a potential supply block out of this is quite good. The Marines do push out. Stim comes out, and that gives them crazy firepower. You can't really run away from Stim, so you just kind of focus down as many of these Marines as you can. Good micro on the focus fire for REYNOR. But at the end of the day, it's what, 5 Marines for 5 Roaches? So that's a good trade for Clem. Losing a depot on an SCV sucks, but I think it ends up being worth it for him. Third barracks coming in, his double upgrades are going, and he's rallying over to his third base. So he's really getting his build set up nicely. He's also building siege tanks in the main base. You always want to go tanks against Roach styles rather than going for Widow Mines. He's also going to say, oh, I want to move out. Wait a second. There's always an Overlord on this pillar. Let's clear that first. 11 Marines with Stim moving across the map in the double drop. Up to 62 drones, 63. So he's going up to a full 70 workers is REYNOR, 66, 67 workers. And he's got a 4th base. He's going 1-1 and ling speed. But he needs to keep building roaches right now because he's only got 4 roaches and 7 queens. I think 7 queens is enough to defend, actually. But he's not in position in time. Immediate cancel and rebuild on the hatchery. Loses 75 minerals, not the end of the world. It's more annoying if you lose the drone or it gets delayed even longer. Like if the hatchery is about to finish and it gets cancelled, that's a big delay. But in this case, it's like, we delay it 20 seconds, we lose 75 minerals. It could be worse. Roach speed is on the way. Infestation pit's already coming in, as is a Baneling nest. I'd love to see a couple of early infestors. I think for REYNOR, you got to dig deep. You got to throw a curveball at Clem or he's going to be getting out of control. Second factory is building, by the way. Where's he building that, guys? That's an armory in the back. Ah, here on the natural. Very safe second factory. I think it'll probably just be a tech lab, but actually Widow Mines is probably better. Because you know Reynor's going to be going back into Zerglings and Hive. He's unlikely to commit to a straight up Roach all-in. So I think going Reactor and Mines would be a good choice. We'll keep our eye on it. He's clearing creep for now, is Clem. It's a lot of creep out here, though. And there we go. It is Reactor. Yeah. So he's already preparing to play against the Lingbane. Not feeling too paranoid, not overcommitting to defending the Roaches. 2 Marines for a Roach, even trade. Spore Crawler gets a medevac. Oh! Reynor's got to feel good about that. Having 2 Spores in the main and a Spore in the third just limits the drop annoyance. There's a Spore there as well. Could move that down to the edge if a medevac starts poking in from that side. And yeah, these active tumors get cleaned up. But look, he's already got like 6 active tumors there. That creep tumor is going to keep going. If he can keep spreading on this side as well, I think Reynor's in a pretty good spot. Hive's almost done. 2-2 has started, just a few seconds behind Terran. Baneling speed's on the way. He does want to stop building Roaches, though. He's at 16 Roaches and 3 Ravagers. And that's a big commitment to units that you're not upgrading that also don't have a lot of damage output. 4th Command Center for Clem is finishing right now. And actually, he lifts off the Reactor and decides to build a second Tech Lab. I think because he's seen so much Roach Ravager, now that he sees the Zerglings, I bet he swaps it back. Yeah! He's like, oh crap, it is Mass Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker. And now he's like, oh no, I see Ling Speed. It is Ling Speed. So he's delayed the Widow Mines a lot. That's the one advantage of going so heavy on the Roaches, is he wasn't sure if it was Mass Roach or just a handful of Roaches back into Lingbane. Clem trying to clear up the creep, but he doesn't have enough scans. Adrenal Glands has started. Viper's out as well. 2 Vipers already. Ultra Cavern's almost done. 90 workers. I mean, this looks like an amazing setup for Reynor. And what's the difference? Well, Clem isn't attacking all game. And when Clem's not attacking, he's just not getting those crazy trades that he normally does. But when he's on your front with Biomine up against Lingbane and you don't have overwhelming numbers, it gets so bad so quickly for you. And it's a slippery slope. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a much less mobile composition. It's a much more gas investment for the Roach Ravager. They scale worse into late game than Lingbane. Reynor has paid a price to get into this position. And it's all about how he navigates the next minute or two. Like, how do you get rid of the Roaches? How do you get into the Ultralisks? Pretty quick on the Chitinous Plating. He's got Overlord speed coming in. Can he keep some creep control despite not having such a mobile army? Top right, creep is good. This side, creep is good. Bottom left, creep is really bad. Hello. Parasitic Bomb. Nicely done. I like that split, though. Clem very quick on the split. Two more Command Centers already building. That's Command Center 5 and 6. Oh, Parasitic Bomb. He's got to unload right now. Clem's going to lose 8 Marines. 8 Marines and a medevac go down. He was too busy microing on the right side. Loses a few more Marines there as well. So yeah, my ping is actually super stable right now. So you see how it's catching like this, guys? Someone's lagging the game. It's actually not me because my ping is dead stable. One of the players' computers, or I believe it's their internet, is lagging the game, which is a bit of a bummer. Roach Ravager Baneling coming in from that top right side. This happens sometimes when you have tons of people casting. You never know where there's a routing deficiency or something like that. Fire Ghost Mine on the left side. Oh, big Widow Mine hit! Big Widow Mine hit. Those Widow Mines go down as well. Ling Roach cleans up the top right side. Even though he got good Widow Mine hits, Reyn is fine with this. He's got a gold base coming up as base number 6. His Ultras are building Anabolic Synthesis, which gives them a 10% movement speed off creep, which is huge. Not as good defense. It doesn't do anything defensively, but offensively, it means Ultras just are a little bit quicker to close the gap. Clem is establishing a 5th base. He's going Libs and Ghosts for the Turtle. Reynor has not added Infestors. I'm worried for him. He's sitting on this for a while. He's either got to bust this base, bust up here, which is impossible. 2 Widow Mines, a Liberator, a Planet, a wall of Command Centers, 2 tanks, Spire. Like, that's pretty much unbreakable. This left side's also looking very solid because this is where most of Clem's army is. He's going to go for it down the ramp. He realizes that's a terrible idea. There's just no area to spread versus these Widow Mines. But yeah, I want to see Infestors and I want to see Aspire. He's going to need Corruptors added into this. Ravagers will not cut the mustard against the libs. Oh. Almost goes in range of that mine for too long. Does take it out, though. Nicely done. Ghosts are looking for the snipes. He's looking for some snipes. There we go. Gets a queen. Kills a little bit of creep. Doesn't want to expose too many units to risk out here. And gets a decent Widow Mine hit. Nothing too crazy, though. Oh, I like the Viper pullback. That was really well done. That Widow Mine got a big splash, though. Big splash on the Widow Mine. Army in the top right coming in. Not really able to do much against this. Like I said, 2 tanks, a Liberator, and a Mine. You can maybe make the Command Center lift off, but that's about it. The Marines stem forward, and if you chase into those Liberators, you can have a bad time. Spire is now on the way. Still no Infestors out here. At some point, it's Clem. You know Clem can't resist counterattacking. I do think Infestors, just 2 of them would be amazing. Because you're you have to be so prepared for that move out. He's only got 3 tanks. This side, honestly, busting through this middle area with the whole army might work. Because Clem's on 87 workers. A lot of his units are spread on the north. A lot of units are still in production. REYNOR may have been able to bust this, but as it is, he's realizing he needs to mine out the corners. If he can full mine the corners, then he'll be good. You know, I didn't even notice either, but I think if he built this a minute earlier, it was already mining this, puts way more pressure on Clem. Mining from the top base is basically impossible. As much as Clem's turtling so much that I almost want to see him try it, I'm like, I understand why he's not doing it. Oh, Vipers. Does abduct the tank. Parasitic Bomb goes down as well. Both Vipers get sniped, though. Does cost him. Biles trying to land on top of those ghosts. Oh, man. That was overstaying, guys. That was overstaying. I think he's realizing the Ultras aren't going to give him much of value, but these fights are sloppy for REYNOR. He's over-eager to trade right now, but I think doing it so inefficiently is going to give Clem a lot of confidence. That's super inefficient. 5,000 resource lost advantage. He just lost 3 Ultras, 6 Ravagers. I mean, to be fair, get rid of the Roaches and Ravagers. They're garbage. Get Corruptors in here. Corruptors, Zerglings, Banelings, and the Infestor Viper. That is where the key is. 3 Vipers are alive, gathering energy. Maybe only one of the Vipers got actually sniped. Triple Bile takes out the Lib. Having 3 Ravagers in your army, I guess, does give you that ability. But it's 15 supply. That's the problem. It's so much supply. Marines in the top going to take out that top right base. It's a huge move. Clem denying the top right from being mined is massive. I mean, I can't believe he's getting this area. Ghost does get taken down by the Spine Crawlers, the Triple Hentacle. Known for being incredibly deadly. You can see that Broodlings from Zerg buildings have been nerfed as well. Not just the Broodlord Broodlings. Sensor Tower does go down. Ghosts are here. That's a dead Ravager. No, does barely get out of range, apparently. Oh, he misses a Fungal. Infestors popped up in the south. Great Bile does take down a Lib, but look at that. Look at that, man. 5 Ultras have now died. He's going to do it again. Same angle. Exact same Infestor positioning. 6 Ghosts. Ooh, the 6 Ghost move was nice, but he's got to get out. Does lose another Ultra there. That one goes down as well. That's 7 now. 7 Ultras have fallen. The Infestors get left there. They get taken down. Oh no, the base in the bottom left taking big damage. Dude, this is so well positioned by Clem. I'd like to see REYNOR loop around and push in here. There's a planetary. There's another planetary behind it, but there's no units there right now. He's going to try and fight on the front, though. Without Corruptors, those Libs are being a big nuisance. He is biling one of them down. The tank does get pushed back. There's more Libs behind it. Without Corruptors to kill these air units, I don't think you can break through. REYNOR is now 8,000 resources lost behind. He's running into a brick wall. Its name is Clem. And I don't know if you guys have ever had conversations with inanimate objects, but right now, REYNOR is bashing his head against that brick wall. He is desperately trying to get through, but the brick wall is winning. And there's even a nuke. There's even a nuke. He does run the drones away. Lings do get in on the top. Big damage there. Nuke lands on the base. Clears the Spine Crawlers. Lings do get cleaned up. 11 workers go down, but Clem has the 5th base. He does not care. Command Center is moving down here to help wall off this area. The Ghosts attacking the southern base. And REYNOR is just basically out of money. He's wasted all of his money advantage in the last few minutes. He hasn't found an opening. Clem has turtled this map up very well. Really showing an ability to know how to play the late game excellently. Liberator's moving forward right now. We've got the SCVs going to the bottom left side. And the Lings are going to try and rotate around to find an opening. Lib Ghost moving in. Ultra's trying to find an angle. But those ghosts. Oh, God, those ghosts. Oh, no. Ultra's getting blasted. 3 Ultras go down. The Ultra kill count, 11 now. Ultras are so expensive. 275 minerals, 200 gas. They are not cheap. But they're getting blasted by Lib Ghost. He's still building Ultras, which is really confusing me because I think pure Ling Bane, having the numbers to swarm is the only way he's going to do this. He has to have so much Ling Bane that he gets on top of the ghosts. Still building Ultras in this scenario. Really bad versus Libs, really bad versus ghosts. They're good versus mines, but there's too much Lib Ghost in here for that to work. Top right base is now getting transferred to this base here. Does not have many workers on it. 13 drones just went down. And it feels like REYNOR is out of ideas in this game. Only +1 range upgrades. He does have 16 Corruptors. If he has enough Ling Bane, he might be okay, but he's so low on Banelings. He's really relying on Ultras. I mean, you could kind of do this if you have a billion Infestors everywhere and you just keep landing good fungals, but look how safe Clem's being. Clem's got this high ground. He's like, yeah, that bottom left base is secured with this wall. The top right has to be the opening. Any hole's a goal right now, and this is the closest thing to a hole. 1 Liberator, 2 mines. That's pretty much an undefended base. Spine crawlers in the south go down. The Boast guy, the Boast. For those who don't know, this is Boast, Bio Ghost. The Gaio, some call it as well. Ling Ultra in the north. They get spotted by the sensor tower, though. He's showing his hand very early. This gives Clem a lot of time to move his units north. You either go right now or you back off. REYNOR chooses to back off. Just had to have a drink of the hot water there. This series, not to mention the previous REYNOR series, have been so hectic that my voice is dying. Gotta remember to just take a deep breath and talk about the game state, because REYNOR right now, he's slowing down. He's playing Broodlord Infestor. He's going to try and play the efficiency comp. Problem is, he needs to be more efficient than Clem now, because Clem is going to mine, maybe not more resources than him, but more resources from now he will mine. Because remember, REYNOR's already behind 13,000. Clem's got his infrastructure. He's got 10 orbitals. So all Clem's really building from here is army. Fungal does go down. Broodlord's getting some decent shots, but a few Broodlords do get sniped. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so hard. He needs to dance the Infestors in and out. He's only got 3 though. So if he loses the Fungal, he's in big trouble. A few Banelings there ready to roll into this would be huge. If you can land a Fungal on that, would be massive. Imagine if he had an Infestor hidden here. Catching those ghosts would be huge. Ling Ultra does find the hole that we were talking about. You got to go around. Whenever the Terran seems unbreakable on one side, you got to push the other side, force his defenses there, and then swing back to the initial side that you thought was unengageable. Overseers do get sniped. Vikings are going to lift off to avoid getting caught. Zerglings get a few SCV kills. Love to see him burrowing these around the base just to be a nuisance. Looks like he's getting cleaned up. Ultra's running in, but there's ghosts there. Get out, get out, get out. Corruptors do clean up a Liberator or 2 on the south side. Nice moves there with the multi-prong. Clem's efficiency has been cracked in this series so far. How many planetaries have we got, guys? We got 4. 1 here. No planetary in the north. 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3. Where's his 4th one? Oh, it's on this base, isn't it? Oh, fungal parasitic bomb! REYNOR with a big wombo combo in the air units. Nicely done. Queens are getting sniped. Broodlord's getting sniped, though. He needs to bring another Infestor forward. Oh, no! All of his Infestors got EMP'd. He kept his Infestors a little bit too clumped up, guys. That being said, the Ghosts are kind of getting hammered here. They are starting to land snipes, though. You'd think it would be enough Broodlings to actually interrupt those snipes. But without a Fungal coming in, it wasn't enough. That's why you got to spread your Infestors out. But REYNOR, even though he got some good spells, it came at the cost of losing all of his Fungal, and without a big reserve of Banelings, normally you keep 20 Banelings in reserve. But remember, all of his supplies and Ultras, because if you roll Banelings in when they come that far forward, it forces them to cancel their snipes and run away, or they're going to lose all the Ghosts. And that is a big issue. A very, very, very big issue. REYNOR loses another base. And if Clem steals these minerals, he's going to be mining vastly more minerals off the map against a player who is already 17,000 resources more efficient than. That is disgusting. He's building a lot of infrastructure to secure these bases, turrets, planetaries, but it's worth it. Creep Tumor's getting sniped, Overlord gets sniped. He has to build Overlords now, does REYNOR, just to finish pre-maxing. Infestors are there. He's got to stop them being burrowed. Being burrowed with the Infestors is really bad. You do not want those Infestors to be burrowed underneath each other. You want them to always be above ground so they're ready to fungal. Oh, 2 Broodlords get sniped. Oh, he's got to... I'd like to see REYNOR pulling individual Infestors forward, using a bit more manual control here. That's what that's the best Infestor control. It involves you peeling individual Infestors forward and throwing zoning fungals. Ah, but the Broodlord's getting caught. I mean, he's in an impossible scenario. I'm saying what he needs to do. It wouldn't win him the game. He'd still lose the game from here. Almost certainly. Like it would just make these fights feel a little bit less oppressive, you know? The Infestor comes forward. Nice fungal! Nice fungal. That Broodlord accidentally rallies forward. There we go! Oh, but he runs his whole pack forward again and gets them EMP'd. And REYNOR, he's got to stop doing that. And now with no fungal to punish those Vikings, imagine one fungal, one parasitic bomb on those Vikings would be deadly. But oh, the Vikings are just going to tank the Spore Crawler and shove forward. REYNOR knows he's done. CLEM looking dominant. He just absolutely has REYNOR's number. GG, well played.